Hi class, I wanted to do this quick how to solve for X video because I'm getting a lot of questions and I want to help you out because I know I'm not physically there with you, which is kind of the struggle of this virtual learning. But I hope this can be helpful to you. So I'm taking these 4 examples from our journal page and I'm just going to show you how to do them and walk you through them. Because I know with the lesson I kind of just did the work and had you look at it. I'm going to walk you through each one here. So the first one, we have this 41 degree angle and we have this X degree angle. If I'm looking at them, they're next to each other. Notice, I can overlap the sides. So if they're next to each other and they're sharing a side, that's how I know that they are adjacent. So hopefully this part you're good with, the identifying whether they're next to or across from each other. Next, when you're solving for X, you want to look for what kind of angle are they forming? Well, I have a 41 degree angle, an X angle. Together, they're forming this right angle. And it showed us that it was a right angle because it had this box in the corner. So I not only know that they're adjacent, but they're forming a right angle, which means that together their sum has to equal 90 degrees because a right angle is 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them together. So I have my X angle plus my 41 degree angle. Together they have to equal 90. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve for X. So you should be setting up some sort of equation every time you're solving for X, typically. Unless it's a very straightforward like vertical angle where they're just equal to each other. Okay, that's probably the easiest one. You might not have to set up an equation every time. But typically you'll have an equation and you'll be solving for X. So now I'm going to subtract 41 from both sides. And I know that 90 minus 41 is going to give me 49. So X equals 49 for this example. They're adjacent and X equals 49. Let's look at number 4. Now 4 might be a little tricky. Take a look at your X degree angle. This is my X angle. And then this is my 109 degree angle. Guys, they're not going across from each other. They're actually right next to each other. So this is another pair of adjacent angles. Now this time, these adjacent angles, they're not forming a right angle, but they're forming a straight angle. We know that a straight angle is equal to 180 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my X angle, add it to the 109 degree angle. Together they should equal 180. Now you're just solving for X. So right now X is being added by 109, so I'm going to subtract it by 109 from each side. Now I have X equals, now do 180 minus 109. You get 71 degrees. So now this one, they were adjacent and X is 71. All right, now let's jump down to number 5. We have these 2 lines intersecting and we notice that when I go through, now I have an X, this one's another kind of higher level one. We have an X plus 42 degree angle, okay, which is this angle over here. And then we have a 2X plus 1 angle. Now, those are not next to each other. They have these angles in between, so they are across from one another. So I would say that these are vertical angles. Remember, vertical angles are congruent, meaning that they are equal. So for this one, I'm going to set them equal to each other. X plus 42 has to equal whatever 2X plus 1 is. Like I said, this is a higher level thinking one. What do we do when there is an X on both sides? We have to get them both to one side. I don't care if you move the X's to the right or to the left, it does not matter. I'm going to move my X over here with this 2X. Right now it's a positive X, so I'm going to subtract X from both sides. So I have 42 equals, well, 2X minus X just gives me 1X. Now let me subtract 1. Now I need to get those constants to the other side. So now in this case, x equals 41. So we have these are vertical, and x is going to equal 41. Now, something that I can tell you to do is you can check yourself for these. What I would do is I would plug 41 in for x here for each of these. Change it to a pen. And I would see, are these actually equal to each other when I replace x with 41? So I know 41 plus 42 would give me 83. Now let's do, what's 41 times 2? That's 82. What's 82 plus 1? That also would be 83. Are they equal to each other? Yeah. So I know that I'm right. You could have done the same thing up here. You could have checked yourself. You could have plugged 71 in for x. You know that together they have to equal 180. So do 109 plus 71. Do you get 180? Yes. So guys, there's a way of checking yourself as well while you're doing this. So do that if you need to. All right, last example. We have this angle that is 5x, and then we have this angle that is x plus 96. Together, they're forming this straight angle. They're sharing a side, so we would call these adjacent angles. Together, they're forming a straight angle, which means together they have to equal 180. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up my equation. X plus 96 plus 5x all has to equal 180. Let me combine my like terms. I get 6x plus 96 equals 180. Now you're just solving for x. It's like your equations. Let's get rid of our addition or subtraction first. So subtract 96 from both sides. 180 minus 96 gives me 84. Now, I just wrote 64. Gives me 84. So now I have 6x equals 84. So now divide 6 on both sides. So 84 divided by 6 gives me x to equal 14. So this angle, they're adjacent, and x equals 14. Hopefully you tried those on your own first, and now you just walked through, fixed yourself, maybe just checked yourself, maybe you feel more comfortable. So this is really good additional practice. I will say this, number 5